Hey guys, it's Sam and this is Top 5 Wednesday. Top 5 Wednesday was created by Lainey of Ginger Reads Lainey. I will link her channel as well as the Goodreads group for you to check out down below for topics and such. This week's topic is 5 books that we didn't finish. A lot of these books I've talked about before, and a couple months ago I did a video on DNFing books, which I will link up above because I talk about how I actually have trouble not finishing books and actually saying that I'm not finishing them, but here are some that I think are firmly in the I will not finish category. Number 5 is The Brides of Roll Rock Island by Margot Lanigan. This is a fairy tale revolving around Selkie myths, which is like mermaids and stuff, and I wanted to read it for a very long time. I've had it on my shelf forever. I tried to pick it up a few months ago, couldn't get through it, really slow, nobody is likable, and I just have no motivation to pick it back up when I have tons of books on my shelf that I know I'm going to enjoy more. So I think this one is firmly in the will not finish category. I've heard a lot of people say that they did like it when they finished it, but I don't know if I have the strength to power through. Number 4 is Resistance by Owen Shears. This is an adult historical fiction alternate universe where Germany is winning the Second World War, and it's about a village where all of the men go missing overnight. They basically get up and leave, and so the women are left, and then a troop of Nazi soldiers comes in there, and that's about as far as I got. It's supposed to be like all about human interactions and stuff, and I do like historical fiction, especially alternate retellings of the world wars, but I've tried to read this so many times. My dad has tried to read it, who is a huge reader, as many of you guys have seen, and I've talked about him before, and my boyfriend's tried to read it, and none of us can get invested in it at all. So this one's been on my shelf for a very long time. I think I'm giving up. Number 3 is a book that I might actually give a second chance, and that is Across a Starship Sea by Dana Peterfrond. I loved the first book in this companion duology, which is For Darkness Shows the Stars. I absolutely adored it, and I read it in one sitting, but this one I could not get through. It's a retelling of The Scarlet Pimpernel. The first book is a retelling of Jane Austen's Persuasion, but this one I just couldn't get into. I think I'm about halfway through, and I just couldn't get invested in the characters. There was a huge miscommunication plot line that was happening, and I hate miscommunication plot lines, but I loved the first book so much, and this is set in a later timeline in the same world, and I might get back to it and just restart from the beginning at some point, but right now I'm not motivated to in any way because it put me in a bit of a reading slump. Number 2 I've discussed before, and that is Reached by Ali Condi. I am actually almost halfway through the audiobook of this, and I stopped reading it about a year ago. I just can't with this series. This is the last book in the Matched trilogy, and it's young adult dystopian, and it came out right around the time of the Hunger Games when that was huge, and I liked the first book when I read it, but then I've just fallen off with dystopian, and I cannot stand the characters and everything. It hurts me to get through. I actually put it on 2 speed when I was reading it, and I still can't get through it. I do not plan on finishing it. I actually do not care what happens to the characters. I actually might just read a synopsis of it to say that I know how it ends after filming this video. I want nothing to do with it. Number 1 is a book I've talked about a lot, and I get flack every single time I mention it, and I don't care because I have so many reasons for not finishing this book, and that is The Maze Runner by James Dashner. As I've said before, I've tried to read this 4 separate times, and I cannot get past 100 pages. I hate it. I don't think the writing is good. I cannot get invested in the characters. I am not interested. I've heard that the series ends in a not so great way, which is not motivating at all for me to pick it up. I'm not gonna read it. You guys can comment saying it's your favorite series of all time and that you love it, and that's awesome for you, but I cannot get through it. It is a series that I did want to read when I first saw BookTube years ago. That was a huge series that was going around, and I really wanted to pick it up. When I finally got to it, I just wasn't interested. I am going to watch the movies though. The movies look like they're going to be my cup of tea, and that's all I need. I just need a little condensed version, and I'm fine with it. I know some of you are hating me right now, but I can't get through it, and I've tried 4 times. I can't do it again. I can't go back. I've actually gotten rid of my book. I used to have it. I used to own it. It's gone. It's gone. I'm not. No. No. So that is it for this week's Top 5 Wednesday. Comment below and let me know some of the books that you weren't able to finish. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye!